In the shadowy underworld of London, one name dominates all others: the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, better known as the Addams Family or the A-Team. Feared, respected, and ruthless, this family-controlled syndicate has engaged in everything from drug trafficking and extortion to armed robbery and money laundering. But how did an ordinary family rise to such terrifying power? What if I told you that beneath their quiet, working-class facade, the Addams family became one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the UK? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the Addams brothers, exploring their journey to the top of London's criminal empire, their brutal methods, and their eventual downfall. The origins of the Addams family date back to the 1960s in Islington, North London. Terry, Tommy, and Patrick Addams were born into a working-class Irish immigrant family. While their early lives appeared ordinary, the streets of Clerkenwell, where crime and violence were rampant, shaped their future. Unlike many of their peers who got caught up in petty theft and brawls, the Addams brothers had bigger ambitions. What if I told you that from their teenage years, they already had their eyes set on controlling the underworld? From running local protection rackets to expanding into loan sharking and extortion, the brothers quickly built a reputation as dangerous, intelligent, and ruthless operators. The eldest brother, Terry Addams, was the mastermind, controlling operations from behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Tommy and Patrick became the family's enforcers, using brute force to intimidate rivals and secure the family's growing empire. Together, they formed the Clerkenwell Crime Syndicate, soon to be known as the A-Team, a name that would come to symbolize power and fear. But how did they turn a local street gang into one of the most feared criminal syndicates in the country? Stick with us as we explore the methods behind their rapid rise. By the late 1980s and early 1990s, the Addams family was no longer a local gang. They had morphed into a powerful crime syndicate. Their influence spread far beyond the streets of Clerkenwell, with operations extending across London and even internationally. The A-Team was now a multi-million-pound organization, involved in a wide range of criminal enterprises. But what made the Addams brothers so untouchable? How did they manage to evade law enforcement for so long? 1. Drug trafficking. The Addams family became heavily involved in drug trafficking, primarily focusing on cocaine and heroin. Working with international drug cartels, they were responsible for importing vast amounts of narcotics into London. But unlike street dealers, the Addams brothers kept their hands clean, operating through layers of middlemen to keep their distance from the actual drug deals. 2. Extortion and protection rackets. One of the most lucrative operations for the A-Team was extortion. They controlled entire neighborhoods, forcing businesses to pay for protection. Those who refused faced violent consequences, beatings, property damage, or worse. Their reign of terror was so extensive that even rival gangs avoided crossing into Addams territory. 3. Armed robbery and heists. The family orchestrated some of the most audacious armed robberies in London, pulling off multi-million-pound heists with military precision. Their robberies, particularly on cash and transit vehicles, became legendary in the criminal world, netting them massive profits and expanding their criminal empire. 4. Money laundering. Perhaps their most sophisticated operation was money laundering. The Addams family funneled their criminal earnings through legitimate businesses, including nightclubs, real estate, and luxury car dealerships. These ventures helped them conceal the origins of their wealth, allowing them to blend in with high society while continuing to expand their empire. But it wasn't just their criminal activities that kept them in power. The Addams family operated with a strict code of silence, making it nearly impossible for law enforcement to penetrate their organization. Their reputation for violence ensured that no one dared speak out against them. By the mid-1990s, the Addams family had grown too powerful to ignore. Law enforcement, now fully aware of their operations, began to focus on dismantling the A-Team. However, getting evidence against them proved incredibly difficult. Their code of silence was nearly impenetrable, and any witnesses willing to cooperate with police feared for their lives. But here's where things start to unravel. Despite their near-flawless organization, cracks began to show in the A-Team's facade. Informants within their own network started talking, and undercover investigations revealed just how far-reaching the family's criminal operations were. The beginning of the end came in 2007, when Terry Addams, the eldest brother and mastermind, was arrested and charged with money laundering. During his trial, the extent of the Addams family's wealth was exposed. Millions of pounds hidden through complex money laundering schemes. Terry was convicted and sentenced to 7 years in prison, a major blow to the family. But Terry wasn't the only one to fall. In the years that followed, Tommy and Patrick Addams also faced legal battles. Tommy was convicted for possession of firearms and money laundering, while Patrick was implicated in violent assaults and other criminal activities. The once invincible A-team was slowly being dismantled, but as the legal pressure mounted, one question remained. Would the Addams family truly fall, or were they simply regrouping? Even after their arrests, the legacy of the Clerkenwell crime syndicate lives on. Their ability to seamlessly blend illicit activities with legitimate businesses left an indelible mark on London's criminal landscape. The Addams family was often compared to Mafia syndicates like the Italian Cosa Nostra for their structured hierarchy, code of silence, and remarkable ability to evade justice for decades. But here's where things get interesting. Many believe that the Addams family is still active, operating from the shadows. Despite their legal troubles, rumors suggest that the A-team has evolved, with new leadership stepping in to fill the void left by Terry, Tommy, and Patrick. They may no longer be at the forefront, but their criminal empire, built on violence, extortion, and drugs, still endures. Some argue that the family has been significantly weakened, with rival gangs moving in to claim the power vacuum left by their downfall. But others believe that the A-team is simply lying low, continuing their operations under the radar. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The Addams family's reign of terror will not soon be forgotten. The rise and fall of the Clerkenwell crime syndicate is a tale of power, violence, and criminal ingenuity. The Addams brothers didn't just control London's underworld. They built an empire that rivaled some of the world's most feared criminal organizations. But no matter how powerful they became, their criminal activities eventually caught up with them. While the Addams family may no longer hold the same influence, their legacy as one of Britain's most notorious crime syndicates lives on. Their story is a chilling reminder of how crime can infiltrate every layer of society, and how even the most powerful criminal organizations eventually face justice. Turn on the notification bell so that you are the first to enjoy the most compelling crime documentaries. If you enjoyed this video, then click here for another video delving into the inner world of the world's most notorious criminal organizations.